Hi, this is Terry Campbell with another episode of Johnson Insurance Outside the Box. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about upgrades, updates, whichever you want to call it. Basically, most folks do upgrades and updates for various reasons. Sometimes it's done just to sort of level the playing field. Maybe you're the older facility in the market and you got newer competitors and you're just trying to keep things looking good and update it so that it's a place someone would want to come and rent from. Sometimes you're going to do it just because it's time and you want a reason to justify some rental rate increases, which in turn is going to give you a better value, a higher value on your facility. Some of the different types of upgrades and updates that you may do that we see are things like adding electronic locks. There are different types of electronic locks out there now. So if you add an electronic lock, that is looked at from an insurance standpoint by the underwriters as something that is valuable. You're adding value to the facility because the cost of these locks is going to be an expense. So it's going to be more insurable value of the facility, but you're probably going to get a lower rate on your insurance, which kind of evens things out from the perspective of your insurance rate. So there's a chance you're going to get lower insurance, and if at worst maybe stay about the same while improving your facility. Door upgrades. That's looked at very favorably by underwriters because sometimes those doors, if they're older and they're in bad shape, maybe the springs are weak, there's an opportunity or a chance for someone to get hurt, for a door to roll down and fall on somebody's head instead of staying up where it belongs. Security upgrades, again, looked at very favorably by the underwriters at the insurance companies because the less vandalism and theft that goes on, the less that there's going to be payouts for. So these are looked at favorably, and there's a good chance you're going to get a lower rate for these things. And from the perspective of the market, it's going to attract people if they know that you've got updated security features, whether it's cameras, alarms, whatever it is. It's going to be more attractive to whoever's renting your unit, and you may be able to get a premium for your facility versus another facility that doesn't have these type of security options available. Other types of upgrades or repairs, maybe the driveway, maybe it's got some potholes and things like that, and by fixing those you're decreasing, if not eliminating, potential issues that you may have with folks damaging their vehicles, their trailers, maybe even falling into a pothole and getting hurt. Another type of upgrade that can lower your rate is your roof. If you've got a roof upgrade, this can actually lower your rate because sometimes as the roof gets older, there's a lot of emphasis put on that roof because it can be one of the most expensive replacement costs that you have. And when roofs get to a certain age, carriers may not be willing to give you insurance on the replacement costs. They may only be willing to give you coverage on what the actual cash value is, which means what is that facility's roof worth when it was built versus all these years of depreciation and weather degradation and things of that nature. So a roof upgrade can lower your insurance cost and can get you back to a full replacement cost. So if a big storm comes through, rips your roof off, and it's newer, then you can get a replacement cost. The insurance is going to cover what it cost to replace that roof minus your deductible. But if you've got a really old roof and that same scenario happens, there's a good chance that you're going to be paying a lot more out of pocket, because if you only get actual cash value, it's not going to be worth nearly what a replacement cost is. So these are some of the costs, the upgrades that folks are looking at doing and have been doing, and how they might affect your insurance. So something important to keep in mind. Some of the best practices for your upgrades as far as insurance is concerned is make sure you document everything very, very well when you do that. And when you turn this in to your agency or your insurance carrier when it's time for renewals. Inform your agent of the things that you're doing before you have any major renovations, just to make sure, number one, that coverage is in place like it should be while you've got active work going on, but also so that everyone knows what you're doing, and once you've finished, what we need to take into consideration when getting renewal costs. So, and again, always review your coverage yearly with your agency. Make sure that you have not done anything you haven't reported. Make sure there's not been any changes of any kind there that may affect your coverage or your policies. But upgrades are a great thing to do. It's great sometimes for your market, increasing the rental rates and the value of your facility. But make sure that you've communicated this with your insurance agency, just to make sure, number one, can you save any money? Number two, make sure that you've got the right amount of coverage on that facility now that you've spent money on upgrades. Hopefully this has been helpful. Thanks for watching another episode of Outside the Box with Terry Campbell at Johnson Insurance. Thanks.